Thank you. I really want to thank Councilmember Friedson for having the ability to just be ahead of this and to know just what we would want to do in a case like this. The state and the federal government are moving to put these kinds of funds in place, and Councilmember Friedson put this before us, immediately. I observe that other communities have also embraced it. Seattle, I know, DC. And we often do provide grants to companies. In fact, we approved one today to grow and to expand. Now I think we're confronted with the need to provide grants to those just to survive. That's the situation that we're in. It has been so alarming to hear from our local businesses the situation that they're in, and we're seeing it now. It's like an exploding chain reaction that is happening from the bottom up. There's not a failure from the top down. It's cascading upward. The businesses are laying off the employees, who are then unable to buy anything. Ultimately, we need a federal solution. That is the biggest. That's where the biggest impact will be. We need a state solution. I think the state has put a lot of what is needed in place now, and we have to do our part locally. But in talking to businesses, it's really interesting. Like I spoke with one yesterday. The company typically 45 employees. Now they're down to 8, and they hope that by running a carry-out operation and a curbside pickup operation, that they'll be able to generate just enough revenue to keep those 8 employed. But if they have to pay rent, they can't do that. And so we need landlords to be able to take a pause on collecting rent. I think landlords generally understand that it would not be in their interest to collect a rent payment if that meant putting a business into bankruptcy, because then they're not going to have a tenant there when things resume. Hopefully they'll resume soon. But I'm not optimistic that it'll be anytime soon. But so right now, what we need is for the private sector we need businesses and their landlords to be in discussion about if you have a 10-year lease, can you take a 3-month pause, add 3 more months to the end of the lease? Maybe everybody can make it through. Same thing with mortgages and commercial loans. If you've got a 10-year term, can you add 3 months to the end, take a pause for 3 months? If we could combine those kinds of measures, I think our businesses could hang on, at least many of them could. We've seen some catastrophic predictions. The restaurant industry itself is predicting 3/4 of the businesses will close, of the restaurants will close. I don't know how, who knows if that's the right number, but we've got to do anything we can right now to try to save businesses. I'll note the state's guideline for their fund is 50 employees, so this fund would be at a different layer potentially. It would be 50, but also up to 100. So that might I suppose allow us to reach some firms that would otherwise not be covered, but it will be enormously complex to administer this. So we have a lot of work ahead of us. But again, I think that there could be a way forward if the financial system, allows businesses to postpone loan payments. If landlords allow businesses to postpone rent payments, I know landlords have to pay the bills too, so they've got to be able to work that out with their investors or whoever they are paying. But if we could do that, I think the combination of that kind of immediate thing with grant funds should hopefully enable as many of our businesses as possible to get back on their feet. So I really do support this, and I thank the council for bringing it to us.